Hello there. My name is Cesar Ruiz. I'm a composer and musician based out of Boise, Idaho. I'm also in a band called The Division Line. That's just not a shameless plug. I promise you, it's just not a shameless plug right there. It's part of today's question. I wanna propose on people. What the hell is Indie Sleaze? No. When I think of Indie Sleaze, I think of indie rock, which, I mean, that itself is a question. What is indie? Not even just rock, but music in general. And what is sleaze? What does that mean? Is that just another code word for grunge? Not really. No. I'm gonna be quite frank with you. I didn't know what indie sleaze necessarily was, and I guess technically I still don't, because it's such a new genre. But I didn't know what it was until like 2-3 weeks ago, honestly. And with this knowledge I've acquired about indie sleaze, it brought up a lot of questions, and mainly, who is Indie Sleaze? More importantly, who was Indie Sleaze? Even more importantly, this video is gonna have a lot of editing, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I got turned on to the term Indie Sleaze when I first started getting into my band that I created with the Division Line, and people started calling us Indie Sleaze. What does that mean exactly? I don't know. So I asked my bandmates. They said, I don't know. So I mean, that just shows to you our current knowledge of popular music, I guess. But I guess I have been kind of listening to Indie Sleaze a majority of my life anyways. I was born in 2006. And in the 2000s, we had a whole bunch of cool music, specifically bands like The Strokes, The Hives, Yeah Yeahs, Block Party, Arctic Monkeys, bands like that came out. And I guess from there, it evolved into Indie Sleaze. So we have bands like The Dare, who, I mean, people compare him to LCD Sound System. Yeah, I mean, but like, here's the thing. He sounds cool, just like LCD Sound System sounded like. Now, comparing that beautiful performance to The Dare, he sounds like this. I mean, you can't get any cooler than that. He's talking about girls in the club who likes to do drugs, and he talks about a glory hole later in the song. More on that probably not later. This started to beg the question though: how is my band kind of similar to that? And do we have any singles out? No. Soon though, little teaser. Hey, we like to have fun around here. But our band fits into the category of that indie rock, the garage rock revival, which honestly I kind of wasn't aware of the comparisons until people started making it, and then I just kind of looked at myself and I realized, oh my goodness, I'm a little copycat art. Mind you, my entire musical experience, formally, was in classical music. I'm a classical violist, I'm a classical composer, I do a lot of film scores, right? And when I used a lot of these film scores, I use a lot of
harmonic style of 18th century European musicians,
as Adam Neeley would put it, which he just did. And so when I was writing these songs, and when I write songs all the time, I write them out in the beautiful program called Dorico. I'm a little Dorico stan. But when I write them out, I put them in Dorico, and I write them contrapuntally. I spend a lot of time studying a lot of Bach and Beethoven and Brahms, and don't even get me started on Tchaikovsky. So I grew up with this notion of harmonic practices from these old white dudes, essentially. These old European white dudes. I get told that I look a lot like Rachmaninoff. I got long hands. Yeah, but when I got the comparisons, I was like, oh my goodness, we do sound like an indie band, because we are an indie band. We're unsigned and whatever, you know. However, from there, do you know what we sound like too? We sound sleazy. One of the songs we have, and it was on the radio at one point, and you know, I'm taking that version off, and we're never looking back on it. It's called "You Probably Couldn't Hear Me from the Motel Moaning." Sleazy enough for ya? Sleazy enough for ya? and with that title, I named the title. I don't like telling people the meanings of my songs because, I mean, you have your own meaning for them. Essentially, that meaning for that title is, I thought about it. I thought that was a cool title. I didn't think about people moaning in a motel. No, I don't. I don't. I started playing that song live, and when people asked the name of that one, I said that, and they're like, "Oh my goodness, that is so Indie Sleaze." And I'm like, I thought it was classical music, man. I cannot see the comparison. But that was old me. That was June of 2025 me. This right here, recession pop banger man 2025 me. see, we all grow in different ways. First, we started off as a person who liked Beethoven, and now we're a person who just started off a little differently. We like that dirty Beethoven. We like Mozart, essentially, that little dirty guy. But with all this knowledge, but what does this all mean? Okay, essentially, we take that early garage rock of the 2000s, right, early to like late 2000s era. It was like this decade thing, right? And we take the uncensored media of today, where, you know, as Family Guy would put it, something about like, I don't know, sex on TV or whatever. I'm not a big Family Guy man. I'm a Simpsons guy. But we take those two elements and we form them together. And so when I write my lyrics, I just kind of write words that sound cool. And I guess subconsciously, I'm a little guy. I'm not going to read any lyrics out. Why? Because when the record comes out, you can listen to them there. Hi. See, now we're getting somewhere, you know? I know we just kind of barely met, but we like to have fun around here. What can I say? Indie Sleaze is essentially the genre of taking that garage rock sound from the early 2000s, having crazier, I guess for me personally, I like a cleaner production style. Don't get me wrong, I love all those records to death, like Yeahs, Is This It, Room on Fire, First Impressions of Earth, When the Strokes were garage rock, I guess you would say. Interpol's like really strip pack production on the first two records, and then you have the record with the caribou and that lion. I think it's caribou. You know, they kind of went up the ante on that one, and that's cool. I like that kind of production itself. But overall, you just take that sound, you put it into modern day standpoints, and you just have like really horny lyrics. Essentially, it's just horny music, right? However, for my band style, it's more about the musicality of it, and then also the fun, the party life, you know? Even though, ironically, I don't like going to parties. I'm a little hermit. As you can see, this is what I spend my time doing. My Weezer fan art. That's basically it. I know this seems like a rant. It was a rant. I mean, there's no real hard evidence on it, but I am working on a couple of videos talking about music theory, so I can actually show off what I'm currently studying here at uni, because I'm a little music theory nerd, if you didn't know. This textbook right here, this is one of my many music theory textbooks, but this textbook right here, sometimes I like to stay up late at night reading about whatever chapter this is. I don't know. We just like to have fun around here. What can I say? Chapter 33, Chromatic Sequences. Chromatic sequences are fun. They're fun. They're riddled throughout our music. I'm just ranting now. Why? This is my video. I can do whatever I want. With that being said, I'm currently working on new videos, music theory videos. I just figured I test the waters right now, put out something super random, and see how a music does that. Honestly, I do have like actual serious videos coming out with, you know, my awesome personality of being an actually cringe annoying little guy. But I do have actual serious videos coming out talking about music theory and breaking down certain songs and pieces of work that I very much appreciate and love and cherish and maybe get a little freaky with it, you never know. But honestly, I just wanted to put this out there, test the waters of seeing how many people would like to watch my annoyingness. Honestly, that's pretty much it. So, have a good one.
Listen, everybody. Perfect.